So now the next command is, once we got the data in test, I try to use for each generate. What is for each? So we are trying to explore few more keywords in Pig Latin. So for each means for each record, where are the records in test? I want to generate. What I want to generate? Only EID and salary, these two fields. And then I loaded in test2, and then to print, we have a command dump. So now if you see in dump test2, the command that I ran is dump test2. It processed and gave me the output, that is this. Got it? If in case I want to define the data types also. So what I want to do is, I want to define the data type. Or before that, let's discuss this. So I tried to sort in descending order based on employee ID and loaded in test1. So now I created a new variable named test3. Just give me a minute. And what I'm doing now, I'm trying to sort in descending order based on salary. Fine. And then dump test3.
Test is also a variable, no?
Test is a variable that holds data with schema, and we only define. And see, we define test 2 times. First time, second time, then second time.
कि अपन test variable बना सकते तो already variable तो बना ही रहे ना अपन. तो और कोई से और तरीके भी होते हैं क्या variable बनाने के?
यही.
नहीं अभी आप बोल रहे थे कि variable भी बना सकते हैं. अभी just इसके पहले line बोलेंगे आप.
Variable बना सकते हैं means?
कुछ और सुना शायद. आपने कुछ तो बोला था. मैं मिस कर गया.
ऐसा नहीं है. You can check अगर recall करके. I said
test 2 को फिर से कुछ और असाइन कर सकते हैं क्या?
हाँ मैं ये बोल रहा था. I assigned a value to test. Then I try to use it again. So second time when I use the same variable, it overrides the previous definition.
Okay.
So the previous definition of test was this. Now the new definition of test is this.
Actually, it's not immutable.
It is
not immutable.
Yes.
Not immutable.
It is mutable. It is not immutable. Means it is mutable. Correct. Correct. So now, when I said dump test 3, see I got 4,500, 35,000, 25,000. That is wrong. I got the wrong output. What is the requirement? Order test by salary in descending order. I got the output, but 4,500 is not correct value. First, I should get 35,000, then 25,000, then 4,500. Correct? Right. That is because of this. Because test 3 is dependent on test. So now let me give you an example. So if I say describe test, if I say describe test, I got fields EID, ename, salary that I only defined, but the data type with individual field I got as byte array. So in SQL also it happens when we define some columns, we define column name with data type, but I define only columns names without data type. So what happens? By default system add data type as byte array, that is known as array of bytes. That is array of bytes.
Okay.
So it is not sorting based on the integer values. It is sorting based on the bytes. So if I want to make correction and get the correct output, because the current output that I got is 4,500, 35,000, 25,000, that is wrong. So what I will do, I will make correction in test, because test 3 is dependent on test. And how to define data type? Like we got column name, column data type. We call it field, column data type. So let's say this is integer type, and this is char array type. Char array means array of characters. These are the predefined data types, and this also I want to change to integer. Got it? So I defined the correct data type and then again copied and pasted this in grunt shell, so it will override the previous definition. Now if I again say describe test, now the data type changed from byte array to integer, char array, and int. That is correct. And now if I run this command again and then dump test 3, so now you will get the correct output where the salary will be sorted in the ascending and descending order correctly. Like we will get the values 45k, 35k, and then the least one, 4,500. So one thing that is clear everyone now, as of now, is how to load data from HDFS in Pig variable, how to process and print the output. The last option that I want to explain today, how to store, ETL. We are able to extract, we are able to transform, but how to load? Because we are printing, we are not loading this output in HDFS. So first, let me show you the correct output. Then the last command that I will explain today is how to store this output in HDFS. so just give me a minute. So job is 83% completed. 35,000, 25,000, 4,500. I got the correct values. Now, store. Store is a command to save something in HDFS. What I want to do, I want to store test3 into, I just need to mention HDFS path. So let's say we have a directory in HDFS named test, name root, and that I will save it with same name. Got it? So by default in store command, you will get tab as delimiter. So dump is a command to display output, but store will not display you the output. Store will allow you to save output in HDFS. So what I have done, store test3 into this. And the last command for today is this.
There is a string in this. Ename can be kind of a string.
No, you will not get that header. You will get only data. Header.
नहीं, जो अपन ने ename का data type दिया है वो string दे सकते हैं. यहाँ
No.
पे data type available है.
It has its own data type.
Okay.
There is no data type named string in Pig. So instead of string, we have array of characters. We call it char, then array. Just give me a minute. So I ran this command. So this command will give me the fields with tab as delimiter. So the default delimiter in store command is tab. And if I want to override that, I have to use Pig storage. So just like in load command, we use how to copy. In store command also we can use how to save. So either comma or pipe or whichever delimiter you want, you can assign. So the previous job is running. Once it is completed, I will run a new job. And if I will run this job with the same directory name, I will get exception output directory already exists. So let's say I give it name as 3.1. So the previous job completed. Now if I go to HDFS second root directory, I got test3. And there I got log directory and a data file. And in this data file, I got the records in sorted order, but the delimiter is tab. Just give me a minute. The command that I ran is this. Okay. So in root I got test3. In root I got test3. In that I got a log directory and the data file. So this data file name is part R. That is basically a MapReduce specific name.
Okay.
So I got the record in sorted order, but the delimiter I got is tab. Just in case this delimiter I want to customize. So if the same directory I will refer, it will give me error that output directory already exists. So instead of 3, I gave it some name, any random name like say 3.1, a new name. And then this time output I want to save with pipe as delimiter. So ran the command. Once it is completed, I will get the output. As I got in this command the default
tab
output with tab as delimiter. This time tab will be replaced with pipe. Simple.
You can give comma as well, right?
We can give comma, tab, we can give any delimiter based on requirement. Got it? So it is running. Once my job completed, so I gave the directory name as 3.1 this time. So still it is running. Once data copied, I will get a new directory name test3.1, and in that I will get the data with pipe as delimiter. But the output we will get again sorted output because it is dependent on test3 that contains the sorted output based on salary. So now we know how to extract, how to transform, and how to load. So I got the data. Temporary means that is still running. So once job completed, I will get the file name as part-r-zeros. So now the only thing we have to explore is few more keywords to work on some complex requirements.
Okay.
So now you can see I got pipe instead of tab. So you know how to extract for processing.
But the output got changed. You have changed some
Sorted. 35,000, 25,000, 4,500.
Okay.
Because of test3 is salary
Sorted,
decided.
okay.
So now we know how to extract using load command, how to process. For processing we try to use order by and for each generate to get specific columns, and then we try to save this output, and we also try to print the output. Now we just need to understand few more keywords, but now we have clear understanding how to connect Pig with HDFS to copy the data, and after processing to save the data. And why we use Pig storage to define delimiter either in load command or store command. So now we have some basic understanding in connectivity of Pig and HDFS. Like in Java, .NET, we add some JDBC, ODBC connection, and then try to connect with database and then fetch the data. Correct? So instead of database, we are using HDFS. and then we are copying the data, but internally it's is dependent on a MapReduce job. So on the fly it is converting your Pig logic in some bytecode, submitting it to JVM and taking help of MapReduce to process the job. So now we have this framework basic understanding, and the next phase is start with some more keywords, and let's try to process some complex files like XML file, like JSON file, like multi-delimited file, because right now we have a single delimiter. But now you have a flow ready, and you can work on some complex data sets to process and convert in the required format. Got it? So this was the agenda today.